clicked it.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I see it now. Okay, well, welcome everyone. Thanks for being here today. I'm Grace Plummer, the Managing Director of RIEEE, the Research Institute for Environment, Energy, and Economics here at Appalachian. I'm here with my colleague Lauren Essick, who's in Research Development and Operations here in the Institute. We pulled this together pretty quickly to try to be responsive, a little bit more responsive to the solicitation for proposals from the Water Resources Research Institute at NC State. RIEEE supports interdisciplinary work across campus, and this is certainly a well-aligned funding opportunity. So we thought we would try to drum up a little bit more interest in it and some proposals to it, either this cycle or in future cycles, by holding a session like this. And so that's kind of our purpose today. They're going to focus, Kaitlin and John from the Water Resources Research Institute will focus on a specific funding opportunity, but potentially touch on some others as well. So I think I'll pause there and turn it over to Lauren for a couple of quick logistical updates.
Yes, so I am going to drop the request for proposal for this grant program into the chat so that everyone has that. And here is the Water Resources Research Institute funding page as well.
Thank you. And we'll just a reminder to the audience that we record these and then process them for our YouTube channel, just so others can refer back to it in the future. Thanks for accommodating that. So our plan for today is a presentation, 20 to 30 minutes. We're kind of flexible on time, and then open it up to, we'll stop the recording, kind of close the recorded portion, but then go into some Q&A so that you can talk in more depth about an idea that you might be interested in proposing or some of the work that you're doing, and just check on fit and alignment with this funding opportunity. And we might also be able to learn more about the other programs that the Water Resources Research Institute manages as well. So that is our plan. And then without further ado, I'll just go ahead and introduce our speakers. So we have Kaitlin Tucker. She's the coordinator for research and engagement at WRRI. In this role, she manages their funding opportunities, oversees reporting, facilitates meetings of the advisory committee, the Urban Water Consortium and Stormwater Consortia. She also leads the WRRI team to plan and host the annual conference that it's held each March. We also have John Fear, who is the Deputy Director of North Carolina Sea Grant and the Water Resources Research Institute of the UNC system. He focuses on developing and executing research portfolios for these two multi-campus programs, and he works to increase the links among the research, extension, and communication sections of both organizations. He has a special emphasis on creating new student engagement opportunities within that work. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Kaitlin. Are you first?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And thank you both for being here.
Absolutely. I can go ahead and share my screen. I have some slides ready. Let's see. Can you all see just my slides? Okay.
Yeah, looks good. Thanks.
I am gonna just minimize all of your videos. So if you need my attention, please just unmute and call out because I can't see you. But I'll go ahead and jump right in. So very good to meet you all. Excited to be here today. And thank you so much, Grace, for the opportunity to join in and give some information about the Water Institute and our currently open funding opportunity. So we are one of 54 national institutes for water resources. So each state has a water institute in addition to DC, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the US Virgin Islands. All of the institutes were established by the Water Resources Research Act in 1964. So we work as a joint federal-state partnership program with our federal partner being the USGS, the United States Geological Survey. All of the institutes are based at land grant institutions. So we are housed at North Carolina State University in Raleigh, but we are a multi-campus center of the UNC system. So we work across the entire state with all public and private universities. And all of the institutes have a common goal. So we all work to plan, conduct, and facilitate research on water-related issues. We support early career research scientists, engineers, and others in the water field. We work to disseminate research to water managers and the public. And we collaborate with colleges and universities to solve water issues. So that's just kind of big overview picture of kind of who we are and how we got started as an institute here in North Carolina. What we do here specifically to the North Carolina Water Institute, we focus on funding research. So we have a variety of funding opportunities we offer, and I'll go into more detail about the one that's currently open here in a minute. We also facilitate partnerships. So we work with water and wastewater utilities, as well as stormwater managers across the state. We also work to coordinate the Watershed Stewardship Network, which focuses on local water issues and bringing communities together to solve those issues collectively. We also coordinate the state chapter of the Water Resources Association. We provide professional training as well as K through 12 education opportunities across the state. And we also host an annual conference. So small plug, our next conference will be March 19th and 20th. That conference is held in Raleigh as a central location in the state, as it is a statewide focused conference, and it'll be held at the McKimmon Center. We will be releasing a call for abstracts soon. That's how we build our conference program. So I certainly encourage you to take a look at that conference and see if it might be something you're interested in attending or presenting at. We have folks from academia, local, state, federal governments, nonprofits, consultants. It's a very varied audience that joins that conference. Okay, that's all on that. So again, just our mission here in North Carolina, we fund research, we work on training the next generation of water scientists, we disseminate sound science, and we offer educational programs and training opportunities to support water resources in our state. All right, getting a bit into our research. So we serve the state through applied research by addressing priority water resource issues, topics facing our state. Those kind of priority areas are informed by our Water Advisory Committee, which has representatives from state and federal agencies, industry partners, local governments, and others who are very knowledgeable about the issues our state is facing. Just to note that we do not fund projects focused on ocean-only work or work that is only monitoring, or if it's a project investigating like health effects involving human subjects. That's just not within the scope of what we can fund. And a note as well that our proposed research must take place in the state of North Carolina. So each time we issue an RFP, we work with our partners to get their input on what the latest issues are facing our state, and we incorporate those into our request for proposals. So when you're looking at what we released, you'll see our 4 focus areas, and that's how those items came to be within the RFP. So for this cycle of the 104B funding opportunity, we are seeking proposals that include research, engagement, and/or information transfer projects. Broadly, the USGS is interested in research that aims to address water problems or expand the understanding of water and water-related phenomena, focus on applied research, improving water supply, and just solving water issues. and having strategies to share those results with water managers and the public. So again, we work within kind of that scope from the USGS. We work with our partners to identify the priority areas here in North Carolina, and we have 4 of those. That includes the non-point source and stormwater management focus area, the drinking water, wastewater, and water infrastructure focus area, surface and groundwater quality, and then ecosystem management. So those are kind of broadly the 4 areas that we are looking to fund research within. Now, they are broad. That's somewhat intentional because really we are interested in all sorts of different water-related issues and research questions. So I'm just highlighting a few topics that are included within the RFP. That includes emerging contaminants, which could be PFAS, microplastics, or others, water conservation and supply, how that might be changing, what is the status, harmful algal blooms, flooding, sediment control, water quality generally, including nutrient and sediment management, green stormwater management and how that can be used to reduce runoff, education and behavior change, and aquatic invasive species. So this is just to give you a taste for broadly, again, certain topics that are included in the RFP. It's not all encompassing of what we're looking for, and I definitely encourage you to read through those 4 kind of focus areas for more specific questions and a little bit more information about those. Now, going into a little bit about who can apply. So eligibility, this is for faculty and university affiliates of any accredited college or university in North Carolina. We certainly allow and encourage you to include undergraduate researchers, graduate researchers, postdocs to work with you on the project, but you as a faculty member must be the PI. Projects should be planned for 1 or 2 years. So you can propose work for 1 year if you'd like, or 2, and the start date will be September 1st of 2025. The budget for these projects is $60,000 a year. So if you're applying for a 2-year project, your maximum budget would be $120,000, again, with $60,000 as a maximum per year. We do not allow indirect costs on these projects, and match is not required. So that's somewhat unique to this funding, is that we do not require you to have a match. Okay, so this is a 2-stage process. So we're starting by requesting pre-proposals, which include these 5 elements here. First, we're asking for an abstract. So this is just a brief overview of your project and what you plan to do. Objectives and technical approach. This is really where you're going to describe the work and the focus areas that you are addressing, those research priorities that you plan to investigate. You should be including goals and hypotheses and research questions. It's not meant to just be a description of the work that you plan to do. We are looking for those sorts of details in these pre-proposals. And then we're also looking for information related to the significance to North Carolina water resources. So how is your project aligning with the mission of WRRI? How is your project going to be impactful and make a difference here in North Carolina? We're really looking for the sort of applied nature of these projects and who is going to use the information gained. Those 3 elements are to be a maximum of 3 pages. So please, if you do decide to apply, pay close attention to the details on the appendix. It has submission instructions as well as, what font to use, the size, the page limit, that sort of thing, and that's really important. You can also include references, and then we ask for CVs, which are a maximum of 2 pages per CV. So again, just keep some of those details in mind. I know it's a lot of information. So just some important notes as you're thinking about your projects. All funding is contingent on federal appropriation of funds. It's very difficult to justify no-cost extensions on these projects unless there are extreme circumstances. So please keep that in mind as you're thinking about your scope and your timeline. It's almost impossible for us to get no-cost extensions. If you are proposing a project that will last for 2 years, we ask that these include 2 phases. So if you are selected for one of these projects for 2 years, they are funded on an annual basis. So 2 separate awards. And therefore, your phase 1 and phase 2 budgets, objectives, and milestones should be distinct and separate. Phase 2 should build off of phase 1. But in the event that phase 2 does not happen for any reason, phase 1 should be able to stand on its own. I know that's a little bit complicated, so I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them about that. Just a note about our review process. So pre-proposals are reviewed by our advisory committee and other in-state subject experts as necessary. Approximately 50% of those who apply are invited to submit full proposals, and those full proposals are then reviewed by experts in a peer review that's national and international. And then we also have a technical advisory panel after the peer review. The criteria that the pre-proposals will be reviewed on includes the quality of the project team, again, those objectives, the technical approach, the significance of the project and its results for real-world water issues and opportunities in North Carolina, and the information transfer potential. So again, that is meant to align very much with what we are asking you to include in your pre-proposal. So just a few notes on what else is important. Student engagement and support. This is something we really, really encourage. It's an excellent opportunity for students to gain research experience. So that is definitely something we look for. We also look for the engagement of end users. So again, who is going to receive this information? How? Is it in a creative way that's really engaging? And does this end user want the information? Again, we're looking for clear hypotheses, clear research objectives, and as well as thoughtful approaches to share those research results. So again, that kind of ties back to the end users. How are these results being shared widely? We're not really looking for a standalone workshop at the very end of the project. We're really looking for creative approaches to really reach people and share information. And then lastly, letters of support. We're not asking for these at this stage, but just a note that they can be included in a full proposal, as well as other opportunities ask for these, and they can be really impactful in helping to share support for the project, again, why and how the results will be used, and how people are planning to partner. Just a quick overview of the application timeline. So we are requesting those pre-proposals to be submitted by September 16th at 5 p.m. These will be submitted online at the link at the bottom of this slide. And I very much encourage you, please do not wait until 4:55 to make your account and submit your proposal. I've seen it before. The portal automatically closes at 5. And while we don't ask for a ton of information in there, it will take longer than 5 minutes. So I encourage you to do that ahead of time. We will notify status of your pre-proposal in early November, and then full proposals will be due December 13th. Then they will undergo that peer review and technical panel process, and we will announce winners in April, and the projects will start September 1st of 2025. And if you do decide to apply and you have any questions at all about the portal, please feel free to reach out to me and I can assist you. So whether or not you decide to apply, if you just want to stay in touch with us, you can get more info on our website. We have a variety of funding opportunities, as I mentioned, which are updated on our website. And we also have a list of research projects that have been funded previously. So I encourage you to take a look at that to see the type of work that we have funded before, and just get a sense for some of the ongoing work happening in the state. We also have a variety of listservs, which is one of the biggest ways that we share information. And if you are interested in joining these, you can let me know, or you can email my colleague Anna Martin and she can add you to the appropriate listserv. Just a note as well, we are going to release a funding opportunity specifically for graduate students later on in September. I believe we're planning around September 30th to announce that. And this will be for 1-year projects for a $10,000 stipend. And this is really meant to support a graduate student who needs a little bit more funding to finish their degree, who has a new question that they don't have funding for another chapter in their dissertation. It is not meant to be an extension of a faculty project. So it is meant to support a graduate student. The proposal should be written by the graduate student, and it's just meant to support them in their degree. And that's it for me. So I will stop talking. And if you have any questions, I think we have time for discussion here. And then I'm including my email address as well as John's in case you want to follow up afterwards. Thanks.
Thank you, Kaitlin. That was really thorough and helpful. I think I will, for recording purposes, I will thank you for your time today and encourage people who might watch this back later to visit the website and reach out to RIEEE if you're on campus and are interested in proposing to this program or any of the others. And go ahead and